What's up, YouTube? Welcome to more trades. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day with this crazy price action. But it's not something we haven't predicted. We were saying that if we lose the 23.3, there is a good chance we're coming lower to the 22.7, I believe I was saying, up to 21.900. And what we got here is the 21.883. So I can't really say, oh, I knew this was happening, but it was a projection that I had, and we got there. Now, what's going to happen from here, and why did I have these targets? And before I get into it, please like and subscribe to the channel and join the free Discord. Link is in the video description and in the channel description. And if you really like the channel and the content, you can support the channel by clicking the like to support the channel link in the video description that says buy me a coffee. Any donation is welcome. Now, looking at this, we were resting at the value area high of this entire range, and we broke down quite impulsively, I must say. This was an impulsive candle supported by volume. On the 4-hourly, if we go to it, you could see the volume was high. And even if you go to the different volume indicator that shows you the relative volume in relation to an EMA cloud. Now you can see, this candle pierced this gray cloud significantly. And you can see that it's bigger than these candles. We can go back in time and see how high this candle's volume was around. Let's go to the candle. It was around 263,000. This one over here, 217. This green candle over here was 325. This was on the 14th of February. So you could say we haven't had this size of a candle since the 15th of February. This amount of volume in a candle. Looking at another indicator, you could even see significance of this candle, if it was significant or not. This is the tick volume. The tick volume was quite high here. It is higher than the last candle we had on the 24th of February. This one on the 23rd of February was 246. This is 263. So this red candle had more tick volume, more money exchanging hands, people buying and selling a lot during that candle. So you could see that it is significant. So I can't discard that. I was thinking of taking a long, chancing along a small position, but I'm a bit skeptical with this move down. I mean, it looks very impulsive. That makes me think probably we have a bit of more room to move to the downside. So if we just assume that this down move was a correction, and we take, you have to look at the move from November lows. You can assume you had now let's take the path tool to make it clear what I'm looking at for who is new to the channel. We had a move up in a 1, we came down in a 2. This entire move up was a 3, 4, and assuming this was a 5th, there's one assumption this was a 5th, or another assumption this is a wave 1 over 5, and we're having a 2 over 5, 3 over 5, 4 over 5, and 5 over 5 that would take us up to 29K. So that is one assumption. Now, I'll talk about two scenarios. Either this move up, the 5th wave up, was finished, and this entire move was an A, B, and a C correction, and we're continuing further down, making new lower lows. Or we're going to make a truncated 5th, a lower, not a lower low, but a low, and we'll continue. Another assumption is that this over here, people are saying this could be the low, and now we're moving up to the upside. And how are we moving? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5th in a making, possibly, or a 5th that is done. If the 5th is done, then we are going to come up to we could come down to the 17K range for a wave 2 and a bigger 3. That's one possibility. All these are possibilities. You need to look at how price is acting. We could come down as low as the 17,571 if this is going to be a bullish wave 2 and then we're going up in a 3. That is one assumption. Another assumption is that this over here, from the low here, is the beginning of the wave 5. We didn't get a wave 5 here. We're getting it. We didn't finish wave 5 over here. This is just 1 of 5, and we're getting a 2 of 5. So let's take that. The 2 of 5 shouldn't come below the 0.786 fib. Over here, we wicked below the 0.786, as you see. We came low almost to the 0.887, where it tells you that you're probably not going to bounce up. If you start breaking the 21,795, I think then you're coming for those lower targets. Now, as we get to that region, I'll show you the region again. If we start breaking here, the 21.3, then I'll give you the zone to watch for potential for potential entry to a wave 3, which will be a big wave up. Now, over here we've retraced. So now if we start breaking this again, getting below the 21.8 initially is an indication that we have more room to the downside. Getting down below 21.3 is telling you that, yeah, we are coming down definitely. I am expecting maybe lower lows. Now let's look at this move down. A correction, we can say, oh, we had an A over here, or a W, and an X up here, and we're coming down a Y. The Y can come as low as, mind you, the Y can come as low as the one-to-one correction, one-to-one extension. Just at that level that we need to watch for, 21.3, we could still say we're in a Y wave, but then we'll be breaking that level. It will be very critical. I mean, these things go into each other, and I can see us going as low as the 19,659. If this is an ABC, the C can come up to the 1.618. So these levels are not out of the question. It's very possible. And let's not forget, at 19.6, let's go to the Bitcoin CME chart, not dominance, the CME chart. Now, if you come down here, we have a gap that could take us down to the 19,900. We didn't fill that gap yet. We could. We don't have to do it now. We don't ever have to do it, but we could go down now. Not today, not in one candle, but it is very possible. Now, looking how price reacted, if I wanted to take a long, I like to go into smaller time frames, even the 5 minute. Now let's see what happened as we got to that 0.786. Did we get a big demand wick? You see over here, this candle, this specific candle would tell you, oh, that's a stopping volume candle. We are going to go up. But look what happened. We wicked it and went to a lower low. It liquidated the buyers that stepped in over here. And then over here, it tells you that it's a stopping volume candle. We are going to go down. But so far, we've been just pulling up, up, up. So now to move up, we need to get above the 22,365. Then overcome the 22,685. Then we have a rotation to the upside. We might move up all the way up just to the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. And I'll show you the 50 EMA on the 1 hour. That will be around this zone, the 23,000 zone. So the new resistance, 23,000, 23,300 will be the low of this box. So that could be a bearish retest and continue lower. So that's something to be aware of. On the higher time frame, on the daily, you're just resting on the 50 EMA. You wicked it. You're attempting to break it now. You haven't broken the cloud. This is the bullish cross that everyone was talking about. And if you watch my previous videos that I did weeks back, you would know I was talking about a bearish cross on the weekly on the Bitstamp chart. I was talking about this before it even happened. And now everyone's claiming they've seen it or they see it. But I was talking about it before it even happened. So you're talking about, I think, if you go to the weekly, I believe when we were still here, possibly in January, beginning of January, I was talking about that it's incoming, and we had it. Now, going back to the hourly, and I want to look at different charts because I have different things on different charts. Sometimes I have Fibonacci channels on one chart, on another chart I have Fibonacci time, trend-based Fibonacci time. Obviously here I did not extend my time. I need to replot it. My time ended over here. This was my last fib time. And this was my trigger line. Obviously it seems it's a bit not in place. This would trigger the down move. Now, this was on the 16th of February. Now, if you come down here, you will notice that I have levels that have been broken. These are support levels, 22,973 broken. That will be a critical level. And you see, as I always say, whenever we break a strong level or a level of support or resistance, it comes in with big volume. You will see it a lot of times. Over here, see when we came down from this level, broken volume. Over here, volume. So yeah, let me see if I have anything interesting to show my viewers, my lovely viewers. We broke down the Fibonacci channel, 2 channels actually, which was holding support over here, over here, over here. Now, this will be my next resistance, this fib channel. Obviously on the hourly, as time goes by, the target will move higher. And I have this target over here, 23.6. I'll bring it down closer. Let's move it here. Yeah, I'd put it somewhere around here. 23.6 is my Fibonacci channel resistance. Now, DXY has been pulling back slightly today, but it seems, if we don't have a bias, but we are holding the 50 EMA. But this was what I would usually call a double top. We're having a double top, rejection of the 800 EMA, rejection of a resistance zone. And if we pull a Fibonacci retracement from this peak to the trough over here, you can see that we hit the 0.786 and got a reaction. So DXY may give us a chance to pump now if the DXY starts pulling down sharply today. If we pull a fib retracement from this to the bottom here, 0.887, yeah, but we're not getting a follow through, but we're still holding under resistance, trying to make it a support. The Nasdaq is pulling up today, so if the Nasdaq can continue high to pull the markets, the interesting thing I noticed yesterday, the ES100, the S&P 500 mini futures, it is below the 50 and the 200 and is got a bullish cross and is getting a daily, or has gotten a daily bearish cross. That you need to be aware of. The S&P mini futures has a bearish daily cross. We had a bullish cross over here on the 14th of February, and now it's bearish. Basically, you get these crossovers because we're in a sort of a range or a correction. Now, if you go to the weekly time frame, does it have a bearish cross like Bitcoin? No, we don't have a bearish cross. But if you go to the S&P 500, let's see what kind of cross or whatever. My opinion about crosses, usually when you have them, the move has been done, especially on high time frames. It takes longer for them to cross, and sometimes by the time you get a cross, yeah, the S&P 500, which is ETF, the ETF of it is having back a bearish cross. Usually when you see a cross, the move can be over. So you need to be careful with that. That's about it for Bitcoin. Another thing I wanted to point out is there was this thing about Silvergate. So let me pull it out. Silvergate is a bank that provides finances for the crypto market. And Silvergate has fallen near to 50% fall in its share value. And if you look at where Silvergate was, if you look at the chart, if we go and pull up the chart here, you will see that Silvergate was has dropped about 99%. It's crazy for a big institution like Silvergate. I mean, you're talking about a very high market cap. Okay, let's pull the chart. What's happening here? Yeah. Let's look at the chart of Silvergate. Let's pull up a weekly chart and I'll show you something. So what I'm trying to say is that this is not really good for the crypto market. Look at that big candle. It gapped down I didn't gap down over here, but I believe on other charts it had gapped down from $13 to $5. Over here you don't see the gap down, and it's still breaking lower. It was at a time at 240. So if you take a measuring tool, we were at around 240, and now we're at $5. That's 97.5% drop. That's crazy. Now, what are we going to see since Silvergate is dropping? It's been affected because it was very much exposed with FTT. It was exposed. It had exposure with FTT. The share price of cryptocurrency focused US bank Silvergate plummeted by nearly 50% in early trading on Thursday after fresh revelations about the extent of its exposure to the collapse of crypto exchange FTX raised question about its ability to survive. So that's one thing you need to be looking at. Another thing you need to be aware of is Tesla. Well, I think I have it on my list. Tesla is a stock you need to be paying attention to. Why? Because it will affect the Nasdaq tremendously. It has a high market cap and it is on the Nasdaq. So Tesla is something you should be watching, because if Tesla starts pulling down sharply, Nasdaq will be affected, and that will affect the crypto market, because Bitcoin and the crypto market, well, Bitcoin has a high correlation with the Nasdaq. This is on Tesla. This is on the 5 minute. Let's go on the hourly, sorry. On the hourly, this is on the 1st of March. We had a gap down from, this is Silvergate. Why is it Silvergate? Sorry, guys. Tesla. Yeah, this is a gap down on Silvergate that I was talking about. That was, what's going on here? I just saw the gap down. Why aren't I seeing it again? Yeah, there you go. It shows on the hourly from 13 to $8. That is significant because it wasn't on a weekend close. It was during the week. How did that happen? After the news that came out, it affected it tremendously. Now Tesla stock had a gap down as well, from 202 down to 193, and now we're trading very low. Tesla has some gaps it could come and fill. You need to be aware of that. We have a gap down here that could take us as low as a 146. We have another gap on Tesla over here that could take you down to 122. So all these things in Tesla could bring the Nasdaq down, and that could affect Bitcoin. Bitcoin essentially is in a good bounce zone. It's in a retracement for a possible wave 2 to the upside. Now, if Bitcoin is to say Bitcoin is going to come down, what's happening to my chart? What's this? Okay. If Bitcoin is to come down, and we're coming down for that deep retracement that I'm talking about, for big wave 2, we say that wave 1 is done, and we're coming down for that huge wave 2 down, then the level of retracement would be from the bottom of the presumed wave 1 to the top of the presumed wave 1. The box for this is a wide range, unfortunately, because we had a big move. So the box is between the 0.5 fib and the 0.786 fib as a limit. And that is a range between the 20,400 and 17,500. So you have, with the 0.618 lying at the 19,200. So you have a wide range. We could come down in this box, fill the Bitcoin CME gap that I showed you at around 20,000 and bounce off, or we could even come as deep as 17.5. It would take us to these levels of support and bounce off. We have a level of support at around 18,400, so keep that in mind as well. We have the POC at around 19,168 and value area low at around 18,659. So if I were you, I would mark these levels and trade the reaction. Trading can be as simple as you want it. You trade the reaction on smaller time frames. Don't FOMO. I was about to enter a long. I entered a small position, to be honest, and then I closed it before I started losing money. I entered somewhere here. Then I said, no, I will not. I will close it. If I get a second retest, possibly liquidation of this is what I can see during the New York Open. Possibly we come down, liquidate the 21.8, then we could move up. I would be looking at least 22 to 23k. So that's what I'll be waiting for. Other than that, that's my trading plan. If we move higher, I'm not gonna enter anything because at the moment I am short from 24,600. I think I added to it and it averaged my price of entry at 24,500. We have the VWAP on the hourly. The VWAP is at 23,439. So that could be your next resistance, this blue line. Essentially, institutions like to buy below the VWAP, sell above the VWAP. We are below the VWAP. You may do as you wish. I'm not going to buy this. I'm not going to buy it at the moment, but we are at support over here. You can see that. We are the 0.786. We wicked below it, but we are still there. But the impulse tells me that it's not a longing time. It's like when we were pumping here and people were shorting this, including me. I attempted a short somewhere over here. I attempted a short here. These are big green candles that tell you that we are moving up. You need for price to settle and show you what it's going to do. A lot of people attempted short this thinking it's going to BART out and come down. And again, over here, BART out, come down, but we're not getting that now. We may be getting that. A lot of times candles like to be recovered like this. We may BART over here and come back up. Okay, that's my update for Bitcoin. If you liked it, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't, please do. Join the free Discord, subscribe to the channel, and if you'd like to support the channel, link is in the channel description. More trades, I'm out.